What's up guys, in this video we're going to learn how to do the track stand, a trick that involves standing on your bike in one spot and not falling over, but you're not moving, because normally on a bicycle you have to be moving to stay on it. So this kind of defies the laws of bicycle physics. Oh, it's so 60 FPS right now. Let me know what you think of the 60 FPS frame rate, because it definitely looks different than the 30, but it takes more battery and it takes more file size. So it's a little bit harder to edit. But if you feel like it really makes a huge difference, if you really feel like it makes a huge difference, let me know in the comments. So we're gonna get right to it. I'm gonna get on my bike and I'm gonna show you a track stand right here, right now. Let's see if I can do this one-handed track stand. And this is why you have a screen like this. Okay, so get on here. All right, so if we're looking here, I have to like semi-focus right now on what I'm doing. But this is like a track stand. Let's see if I can get a good one here. This is a track stand right here. Okay, so it's hard to do it with one hand and also holding the camera like way up here. But really the track stand's really not that difficult, but if you don't know how to do it, it really is difficult. So I'm pretty much just gonna give you some pointers on what I do when I track stand and things I've learned on, from getting better at track stands. Track stands is one of those things that you just get better at with time, not so much just something that you just, it just kind of clicks and all of a sudden you can do it. It's a little bit more of just like a time kind of trick where it just takes time to learn how to do it well. I'm gonna mention a couple key points with the track stand. If you want to learn how to do the track stand, you might think that in order to track stand you just have to go like this and just kind of balance on your bike like that, and that's gonna be really hard to do. The key to track stands is having your front wheel to the side. Now I don't know I'm not an expert on track stands. I'm just gonna explain to you how I do it so you can kind of figure out how you want to do it. If you're an expert like Pure Trials rider and you're like, no, that's not how you do it at all, leave a comment down below if you do it differently or you found a different way to do it. That is easier, but this is just how I do it. So since I'm right forward foot, I tilt my bars to the left when I'm doing it. If you're left forward foot, you would probably do the opposite and have it like this side instead. So basically, a track stand is definitely going to be a little bit harder if you don't have brakes. So the next part of the trick, you don't really have to move. A lot of it is in your knees, and that's really what's going to keep your balance. It's kind of like in a manual, it's a lot in your knees if you're turning in manuals or something like that. But it's pretty much not going to be so much like your body, because that's hard to control. A lot of it's going to be in your knees to kind of go like that, and you want to keep yourself light on your pedals. Now it might be easier to track stand. I mean, I can pretty much track stand in any pedal position. It doesn't necessarily have to be your forward foot. You can have one foot down. It doesn't really matter that much. It might be easier if your foot's down. It might be harder if your foot's up here, or obviously if your other foot's there, it's definitely going to be even harder. I'm just going to kind of show a closer view of just my bike so you can see exactly what's going on. It's a lot in my knees, balancing like this. And pretty much also I'm using my arms to kind of push the bike back and forth like this. Now a lot of it is really not overdoing the movements. You want to keep it smooth and just kind of small increments you have to sense. This is why this trick takes so long to really get the hang of, because when you're first learning it, the movements you're doing are probably going to be too drastic or not drastic enough. You have to find that exact movement, to where you're pretty much just doing the exact opposite of what the bike is trying to do when it's trying to fall over. One thing to keep in mind is to keep your knees bent when you're doing this. If your legs are like this, it's going to be harder to do it. You have to keep your knees a little bit bent like this And actually, when you're like this, it's actually a little bit easier than if you're up here. There's really not too much to this trick, really. I'm just gonna go over exactly what I said before. The key is to kind of keep your handlebars sideways a little bit. That's gonna make it easier than keeping them straight. Then make sure you decide, kind of what pedal position you're most comfortable in. Just because I know how to do them, I can do them in most pedal positions, but figure out whether you want to have your forward foot like this or down like this. It might be easier for you in a certain way. And then get up on your bike, make sure you keep your knees bent like this. And a lot of it's gonna be in your knees, the balance. You can really feel it in your knees to get the track stand. Really, it's just gonna be a lot on you to kind of feel it out and get it right. As annoying as that is, most tricks on trials bikes are really frustrating and hard to learn because it's all about balance. But hopefully with those pointers, keeping your knees bent, knowing what pedal position you're trying to do. I would say also make sure your arms are bent, because if your arms aren't bent, it's definitely going to be harder as well. So you don't want to be stiff when you're doing it. You want to be super loose like spaghetti, so you can make sure you have all the movements that you need in order to do the actual track stand. Now, if you know how to do the trick already, be sure to help people down below in the comments if they're still having problems. If you have a tip that that helped you a lot when you were learning track stands, be sure to leave those suggestions down below in the comments to help everyone out who doesn't know how to do it yet. Let me know what videos you want me to do next, whether it's how-tos or other riding videos. As you can tell, it's actually a pretty nice day today. It's been terrible weather, which is why I haven't been uploading, because I haven't been able to ride. So hopefully we can get back into it, get some videos going, and it'll be great. So go and learn this trick, and I'll see you in the next video.